We got a little fresh snow here in Washington State, near Tacoma where I live. So I'm out for a walk and looking for a pretty place to set up and do a painting. It's early January, so I don't have a whole lot of daylight, and it's pretty chilly, kind of windy. So I don't want to walk too far. I'm just walking along a little local rail to trail. Pretty with the snow on the trees. Kind of broken clouds today. Expect that all afternoon. Maybe a little bit of snow later this afternoon. Let's see what we can find. Hello, thanks for joining me again. Well, I'm here near my home, near Tacoma, out on a easy trail. It's actually a rail to trail project near where I live. I take it pretty often. It's neat to see the changes through the seasons, and as you can see here, we got a little bit of snow. So I'm getting set up. You can see I've got my on Plein Air Pro setup going. I'm about to lay out the colors, and I'm going to paint this little old bridge across this river. Nice snow on the rocks. I'll probably do something with that graffiti on the bridge. I hope that doesn't happen too often. It's pretty, but I'm not sure about mixing ice into my oil paint. I like the red of the bridge against the kind of cool blues of the sky and the snow. The sun's probably going to be going in and out today. That's another pretty view down that way. Mostly sunny at the moment, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose the sun and maybe a little more snow later on today, so I'm going to have to move kind of quick. I'm going to go with a 9 by 12 inch panel today. Not the smallest I use. The smallest is 8 by 10, 9 by 12 is in the middle, and 11 by 14 has been the largest I've been using. So I'll give that a try. I may not get all the way finished, but I can at least get a composition started. As always, thanks for joining me. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe. I like these hot hands on a cold day. Keep my hands warm. I stick them in my gloves. Alright, I'm getting my colors laid out. My usual simple palette of colors. I've got Gambling Radiant White, Cerulean Blue, I think that's Winsor and Newton, Ultramarine Blue, Winsor and Newton again, Sap Green, Winsor Newton, Phthalo Green, I think is Rembrandt, Burnt Umber, Winsor and Newton, Burnt Sienna is Rembrandt, Cad Red, Rembrandt, Cad Yellow, Winsor and Newton, and Cad Yellow Lemon is Rembrandt. So you can see I like those three companies, Winsor and Newton, Gambling, Rembrandt. They make really high quality oil paint. I use the artist grade. It's pretty reasonable and pretty good pigment load. completed a quick sketch using burnt umber, burnt sienna, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and turpentine, just to lay in the basic composition. Now I'll block that in using turpentine and kind of wipe away the lighter areas. I'm using a little different approach this time, following Richard Schmid's Alla Prima approach. So give that a go, see how it goes.
Here I'm going back and forth with paper towel and a large soft brush. The brush is a soft synthetic blend that I have had for years. It is much softer than bristle brush, so it doesn't scrape off the paint that is just starting to set up. I'm pushing the paint around with the brush to smooth and to darken, to create an almost monochrome value study of the scene. This approach is excellently described in Richard Schmid's book, Alla Prima, and in his landscape videos.
Well, my nose is cold. I'm sure it's red. My hands are cold. Been here for almost 3 hours. I had a beautiful afternoon. The sunlight on the snow. Really relaxing. Sound of the river flowing by. So let me show you how the painting turned out. Sorry, the light's a little dim, a little hard to see. Hopefully this will come through on the video. But yeah, I had a pretty good luck, I think. Had a good time for sure. It's always a challenge outdoors. It's either too hot and buggy or like today a little bit cold, but lovely. Beautiful day here on the river. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed joining me. I like the new method. I think I'm gonna pursue that a little bit more, doing less of a sketch up front and more of a wash, and just kind of developing the drawing as I go. It ends up with more of a painterly effect, real loose brush strokes in the background that I think will be interesting. So I'll take this back to the studio, take a look at it again, maybe develop it a little bit more based on some of the photos I took while I was going. I think if I was to pick out a few spots of sunlight on the bridge and maybe on the snow, that would really make the painting pop. So I'll think about that and put it up on my website when I'm done. You can find the link to my website in the description below. As always, thanks so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me to get motivated to make more of these videos. Really appreciate it. Hello again. Well, I'm back in the studio with this one that I started out down the Orting Foothills Trail, and I thought I would film the little bit of touch-up I'm going to do here in this studio. So I've got a reference photo from the day here on my iPad, and what I like that I see here in the reference photo that I don't see in my plein air painting are just some spots of light. I see some sunlight on the bridge, which is bringing out some rusty yellow-red colors. I want to pull those out in my painting, give the eye something to focus on, give a little stronger focal point than just the steel structure of the bridge. Those highlights are also on the water in the river and on the snow on the bank, so I'm going to pick up a few of those colors as well. And then I think I'll add in just a few of these branches with the snow in the shadow. There's some nice purples. Probably can't see it here on this video, but there are some nice purples and blues in the shadows in the snow. Also some highlights on the rocks there. So just a few highlights and a few shadows I'll add to make the painting pop a little bit more. So I have my paints mixed up here. I compared to the reference photo and to my painting, make sure that I have some harmony between my colors. I always use the same basic palette whether I'm painting outdoors or painting in the studio, so it's pretty easy for me to get the harmony back as long as I compare it to both the reference photo and the painting. As you probably know, if you've painted outside before, the photo, at least the way I take photos, it never seems to capture the right color for the day, but my painting typically has a really good harmony from that day, from the lighting and the location of that day. So got my paints mixed up. I'll go ahead and get started.
So far I've been using this soft brush, synthetic brush. It's an older brush, Winsor Newton Eclipse. Has a little bit of body, but it's nice and soft so it's good for going over the top of wet paint especially. It doesn't scrape away the bottom layer. In a case like this where I'm going over mostly dried paint, it works great just to leave kind of a loose, abstract brush stroke. I'm also going to use a palette knife to lay down a couple hard edges. Check out a higher resolution image of the final painting on my website. The link is in the description.
As always, thank you for joining me. If you like these videos, please remember to like and subscribe.